Smiley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, October 21st. So today we do have the moon in Capricorn all day. We are building towards the first quarter moon taking place in Capricorn energy, which will take place at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the build up to the first quarter moon of any lunar phase is a little bit of a sorting out process. We have to kind of go back to the new moon solar eclipse in Libra that we just had, and we have to kind of understand what has been illuminated for us, especially where blockages and obstacles and struggles and specifically power struggles have been taking place in order for us to decide what we need to decide upon. Again, confusion has kind of reigned supreme, indecision has reigned supreme here in this Libra season. We are nearing the very end of Libra season, as this is the last day of both Mercury and the sun being in Libran energy. We're about to do a deep dive in the Scorpio energy, and once we kind of enter into that fixed water sign, you best believe that major changes and transformations are going to take place. So this first quarter moon in Capricorn is kind of acting as a pivot point, as a catalyst point for us to decide, for us to choose upon the path, upon the actions that we are going to take based out of the blockages, the obstacles, the frustrations in which we've been facing. So there's a lot going on here today. There are 11 different aspects. 9 of them are going to involve the moon, and we have a pretty powerful situation taking place here today between the sun and Pluto. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. So we kick off the day with the moon in Capricorn, semi-squaring, creating a little bit of a tension point, a little bit of a conflict with Saturn. Saturn, of course, rules over the Capricorn energy. He is the Lord of Karma. He rules over rules and responsibilities, systems, structures, foundations. He is retrograde, internalizing the energy in each and every single one of us in this Pisces energy to see what it is that we have to let go of, what it is that we have to put an ending to, put a death to, what it is that we have to dissolve, deconstruct, and destroy as far as the old version of self goes, the old belief systems go, the old vision goes, the old realm and reality goes. So of course, we can expect that this is going to feel a little bit of a Debbie Downer, negative Nancy type of vibe. We're feeling the weight of the world on our shoulders. We're really understanding who and what is sucking the life force energy out of us at this time, what particular situations, elements, aspects we've actually outgrown, and where it is that we do have to kind of get focused on what it is that we need to move away from and what it is that we have to start building in order to gain closer proximity to. Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money in this Virgo energy, definitely showing us the smaller details of our heart space, of our physical realm, what it is that we actually can adjust, what we have control over, what it is that we have to fix, heal, and repair, not only within ourselves, but in our physical realm. That, of course, is starting to show us where it is that we've kept some old remnants of the old version of the dream, of the vision that we once wanted, where we're keeping those aspects alive when realistically we should be cutting the cord and letting that particular energy go. Venus is interacting with Chiron, the wounded healer. Chiron is retrograde in this Aries energy, helping us to really kind of attack, if you will, some thoughts, some feelings that we are having about ourselves. Again, Chiron is helping us to kind of boss up, to heal, especially in our mental health, the perspectives that we're holding about ourselves. This is where imposter syndrome is alive and well. And because we're trying to kind of come forth with this new sense of self, we are very hesitant to do so in a lot of ways because we're really not feeling as equipped, as prepared, as strong, as solid as we feel like we need to be at this particular point in time. Now, Venus interacting with Chiron in this way is illuminating for us where it is that we are making very small adjustments, little tiny bit of progress, let's say. There are some improvements when it comes to the way that we're thinking and feeling and rearranging our values, our worth, especially within ourselves, rearranging our priorities, rearranging our physical realm to mirror back to us what it is that we've already captured a vision of within ourselves. This is definitely helping us to be a little bit more open to some suggestions, to new ways of doing things, especially where our relationships are concerned. Now, this is a positive energy, but it's not going to last very long because the moon in Capricorn goes ahead, gets into the boxing ring, fights it out with Chiron. So, of course, this is really going to put a little bit of a negative narrative on us. This is going to put us in a little bit of a funk, a little bit of a mood, a little bit of an attitude, if you will. We're having a hard time kind of building ourselves up. And in this particular aspect, we are definitely breaking ourselves down. Instead of kind of supporting ourselves and encouraging ourselves and boosting our confidence and self-esteem where we can kind of emerge as this new, brand new version of self, that moon in Capricorn wants to stick to what is old, tried, tested, and true. There's a lot of fear, doubt, insecurity coming up at this time. And at this particular interaction, we are definitely feeling safer to stay where it is that we're at, where it is that we've been, even though we know that we're only going to get what it is that we've already got. It almost feels like it's more familiar and predictable for us to stay at this particular juncture of who it is that we currently are and what it is that we currently want for ourselves. We're not going to stick in that funk for too long, though, because the moon in Capricorn is then going to make a positive interaction with Mars. Mars is the god of war. He rules over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires. He's in his rulership in Scorpio energy. This is definitely going to kind of pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off. We're reminding ourselves how strong we are. We're reminding ourselves what it is that we're fighting for, what it is that we have to kind of dust off of our shoulders, so to speak, put behind us in a lot of ways in order for us to start fresh, to start new, and really start to pursue a new path, a new quest, a new adventure, new mission, new purpose. And of course, there are still, I'm going to say, some realizations that need to happen in order for us to very strategically pinpoint how it is that we're going to use our energy to make this change and transformation. But nonetheless, it does feel a lot better than, of course, picking ourselves apart and breaking ourselves down. So this is kind of where we boost our optimism, our motivation, our inspiration once again, and we definitely come out of that dark funk. So 10:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have the sun in Libra energy. And again, we're at the very end of this Libran energy. So we're at the critical crisis degrees of this Libra energy. The sun is going to get into the boxing ring and square off, fight it out with Pluto. Pluto is the great transformer, and we see transformation take place by a total death, ending, closure, destruction of the old in order for there to be an opportunity, a space, if you will, to resurrect, renew, rebirth, if you will. Now, the sun in Libra energy, of course, very much about social justice. We are being illuminated to the abuse of power. We are being illuminated to the power struggle. We are definitely having the sun shine a very bright light on where it is that we're still experiencing a lot of mistrust, a lot of heaviness, a lot of weight, a lot of obstacles and challenges, if you will. Now, of course, we're going to be feeling this within ourselves. We're going to be feeling this within our relationship dynamics, but we're definitely watching this play out on the greater, grander stage as well. So any kind of events happening to you in your personal life or on the greater, grander stage is highlighting the problems that we're having with trusting ourselves, trusting the greater, grander plan, trusting, let's say, humanity. We're having a hard time putting our faith in other people and humanity. We're having a hard time trusting the fact that everything is going to work out and be okay. We're going to really struggle with a lot of different topics and themes that really reveal to us where we have to boss up to a new level of our own inner empowerment that, of course, has a reverberatory effect on the collective. So it is going to feel very conflicting, very dark, very heavy, very weighted. But of course, we need to experience that particular aspect, that particular part of the scale, if you will, in order for us to figure out how we can balance it out, how we can kind of let go of some of those particular not so nice thoughts and feelings, and how it is that maybe we can start to build towards something a little bit more empowering. So that's definitely going to be a doozy for us individually and for the collective. The moon in Capricorn going to trine, beautiful interaction with Uranus, who is retrograde in Taurus energy. I love this because, and especially coming out of the very tough aspect that we just had, I love this because Uranus is bringing a new perspective. bringing a change in mood and attitude and thoughts and perspective and understanding where it is that we have to adopt a new way because the old ways, and again, Moon and Capricorn, very stuck in tradition. The old ways aren't working. The old ways need to die. Uranus is bringing us a huge epiphany within ourselves and our own personal struggles, and on the collective stage, where a new path, a new method, a new journey, a new quest, a new adventure, a new attempt needs to be made in order to break free from the old and essentially initiate starting the new. The Moon in Capricorn going to square off, get into the boxing ring with this North Node in Aries. And this is a difficult point in time, I would say. We are building towards this first quarter Moon in Capricorn, so there's always an intensity here to just kind of decide, to choose, to fix it, to move on, if you will. But this square is illuminating where it is that we're not on the same page with the plan, with the path, with the strategy that we need to have kind of locked in stone before we're going to engage the physical body and exert any kind of energy to kind of pursue this new path, mission, purpose, or dream. And so instead of seeing the growth and the improvement, again, negative Nancy kind of kicks in and we start illuminating what is still left for us to solve, the problem areas, the blockages, where it is that we're just having these power struggles within us, within our relationship dynamic, within the world's events, if you will, and where it is that we're just not seeing very clearly how we could ever break away from this. The Moon is then going to sextile with Neptune. Neptune is retrograde in its place of power in Pisces energy. This is about our spirituality, karma, soul contracts. This is about dreams and visions and insight and intuition. And what I love about this is, thankfully, it's a good interaction. It's a sextile. But even more than that, this is kind of refreshing our soul, refreshing our spirit. This is a little bit of a spiritual reminder, if you will, on what it is that we're actually doing here, what it is that we have to kind of remain focused on, what it is that we need to very much kind of hone in on as far as the smaller details go of the futuristic dream, goal, and vision in which we want to manifest. And again, that Pisces energy is beautiful for capturing a vision, a dream. And the Capricorn energy that we're currently sitting in with the Moon is absolutely the best way that we can bring this energy into our physical form, into our physical body, apply logic and practicality to it, and see what kind of structure, what kind of framework, what it is that we have to build in our lives in order for this particular vision and dream to have the chance in actually manifesting. The Moon is then going to interact with Venus. Venus, of course, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money, in this Virgo energy, looking to fix and heal and repair the areas of our lives that are not invoking happiness and joy and safety, security, and stability. Although we're not able to make major changes at this time, these smaller little adjustments to our heart space, to our emotions, to our perspective, to our thoughts, definitely helping the cause in the long run. The Moon interacting with Venus in this way is not as favorable as we would prefer to have it at this particular juncture in the day, but nonetheless, it is illuminating for us where it is that we're still struggling in our heart space to come to some kind of terms and acceptance of what it is that we have to let go of in order to have the space to actually create something new and better, more in alignment with our higher selves, with our authenticity, in the place of the things that are falling away and currently collapsing. We have the Moon in Capricorn energy, coming up to, bumping into, teaming up with Pluto, the great transformer, who of course is now direct in the final degrees of this Capricorn energy, helping us to boss up, to take our power back, to shift into creator mode. So this could go one of two ways. Either way, it's going to be a very intense shift in energy, especially in our emotions. The first way that it can manifest is that we're feeling strong. We're feeling like we're in control. We're feeling like we do have a certain amount of power that we haven't had before, especially when it comes to our emotions, especially when it comes to some of the futuristic goals and dreams and visions that we're currently percolating on. Or it could manifest in a not so nice way, making us feel like we don't have control, making us feel like we are going to be stuck in the darkness with these obstacles, with these challenges, never being able to truly break free from some of the constructs that we know have to end, have to die, have to come to a closure point in order for us to build something new in its place. 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the moon in Capricorn getting into the boxing ring, squaring off with the sun in Libra. This is what gives us our first quarter moon in Capricorn energy. This is a buildup. This is a breaking point. This is I'm going to say, an accumulation of intense energies that show us where it is that we're not on the same page within ourselves, where it is that we're tired of the struggle, tired of the obstacles, tired of the challenges. This is more about recognizing what it is that we can no longer tolerate, and out of that, create a, let's say, possible alternative on what it is that we would like to choose instead. And therefore, there's a new awareness coming to the forefront of our ability to see very clearly on what it is that we're absolutely done with, what it is that we've outgrown, what it is that absolutely needs to die, what we have to let go of in order to stabilize, again, Libran energy, to create that balance, to create that fairness, to create a new grounding point for us to absolutely be launching off of. So although the first quarter moon of any lunar cycle does kind of give us this intensity, this crisis point, this, I'm going to say, back against the wall type of energy, it's absolutely needed in order for us to be very clear on what it is that we need to move away from, and a little bit more clear on what it is that we would like to be moving closer to.